What's going on, everybody? James here, redoptionagency.com, 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And what day is it? Wednesday? Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. Well, same old story overnight. We got that going for us. Yay! Today's cold, rainy, oversized snuggle shirt day. So comfy. So, as of 9:15 this morning, I had 0 sales. My last sale was at 11:45 last night. So 9.5 hours of zilch. Zilch, zilch, zilch. And they say they don't shut me down. Dude, that's a shutdown. I mean, I am worldwide on 10 different eBay sites. And I get no international sales or anything overnight for 9.5 hours. Clearly issues. But hopefully we have a bounce back. I've had a few items sell in the last 15 minutes. Now I got a return request. Wonder why these return requests don't go through automatically anymore. Oh, it's on an international site. Maybe. Yeah, it's a UK site. Oh, this is the person who bought a cassette, and they emailed me and said they're going to leave a negative because it doesn't play. I'm like, open a return, and I'll just refund you the money. So, gotta guarantee the cassette since I don't listen to them. Whether most people who buy cassettes are not going to lie to you, so I've refunded his, and now they can't leave the negative they threatened about because they opened a return. And I closed the return. The one lady with the shoes that I was doing the back and forth with on the one video, she didn't leave a negative, but she ended up leaving a neutral saying my expectations were higher. Pardon me? So you saw the 10 to 12 pictures I took, and your eyeballs interpreted things differently than what's showing, and I get the blame for it. Oh well. It is what it is. God, how many times... Now I know how they steal people's Facebook pages. You get these Facebook emails. Your blank, blank, blank is your Facebook account recovery code. Then they want you to click in and do it. I get them things like daily. Man, that must be a lucrative business, just hacking people's stuff. All right. So in the last 15 minutes, I've done $61. So I'm shut off for 9.5 hours, and then I do $61 in 15 minutes. The money I could be doing if I had those 9 hours every night actually making me money. Up 10%, so that's good. Yesterday, I had, 510 by 5, if you watched that video. And then only did another $210 by 11:45. So 6.5 hours, just say. And then it shut off. So $727 made it to yesterday. Still a good number. Still a very good number. it just sucks that I can't get a full 24 hours worth of sales because of something. No matter what you want to believe, something is causing it beyond my items. Sold 49 items yesterday, 30 promoted, 10 organic. Today, 2 items, 1 organic, 1 promoted. So the $60 is on 2 items. Hence why I had to get rid of the low dollar stuff. If they're only going to allow me so many sales per day, they need to be as high as possible to survive. What's going on? Let's see. Questions and comments. Is there anything else? Am I forgetting something? I don't think so. Questions and comments. Let's go. Posh is a hot mess. They have never really made money and had to close their overseas market. Yeah, I know they closed their overseas, but I think they're still, they profited in Q3. Total revenue increased by 11%. That's 2022. Doesn't take me. Oh, it takes me to a link. That's not the link I wanted. Why are you all the way over here? Anyway, it don't matter. It don't matter today. Anyway, let's see. I think if you offer free returns, you get a majority of the mystery boxes back. Of course, without the good thing that was in the box. The eBay rule for mystery boxes are very strict. The idea of adding dollar bills would have the character of a lottery and is not allowed. That's why I would not say that. It would be more of a, oh, look, a surprise. I'm going to go buy another. I think you've seen a change, haven't you? Indeed, I have, and it's much appreciated. Positive yet realistic and level-headed people tend to be the most valuable. I think when I said that my attitude's been changing. One should surround themselves with people who fan their flame and add logs to their fire instead of throwing water on it. Correct. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Yeah, I see, there was like, if you were watching Primo Kimo's live yesterday, there was some stuff that went down in the chat. Because apparently a certain someone is not saying very flattering things, I guess, about people like me and Hayfro Sales, and I guess even Primo Kimo. And even though he'll say those bad things about you, he'll email you on the side and say he respects you. Like that makes it better. So, yeah, I don't follow that person anymore. You know how you can tell some people, like I've always said, would you allow that person to watch your dog type of thing? Yeah. So this person has a history of slagging on people, but then sending them emails and saying, oh, but I respect you. Shut up. Stop being a phony. But apparently that went on yesterday. So it's quite entertaining to watch. Personally, I don't care anymore about what he says about me. But, well, he won't give people's names. He'll just insinuate. when he's talking bad about people. But you know what? Even people who haven't been doing this very long, they got to find their footing somehow, some way. Everybody burns bridges along the way. So burning bridges is either going to get you lost in the forest and you're not going to find your way home, or it's going to light your way. One of the two. So whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. If you have to if you have to build your house on the back of others, it's not a very good foundation to build upon. Because once all those others step away from you, you're going to crash and burn. One high-ticket item can save the day, but I guarantee you'll be capped at $4.25 the next 2 days. I haven't been capped at $4.25 in a while. That's why I had 3 low days before Christmas, but I've had more days below 500 recently than prior. Oh, there's $60 for my Marilyn Manson t-shirt. I had a Marilyn Manson t-shirt that I just never wore anymore. So I put it up for $80. They're saying $60. I will take it. Thank you very much. Haven't had too many low dollar days, so that's why I'm curious to see what the next, what January will hold. Parents can seem hard on us because they were always trying to make us strive for more. Not my parents. My parents didn't care. My parents never pushed me to do anything. I had to literally find my self-motivation to do anything. And I often wonder if that's why my sister's totally opposite. She doesn't strive or push to do or be anything. And if I couldn't find it within myself, I would have been the same way. Something in me made me think differently, I guess, and just try to be more. I mean, I quit high school for a while, for a couple of weeks. They didn't care. But I got bored and went back because all my friends were at school. So I'm like, I'm bored. I'm just going to go back. So I flunked that year and had to make it up in night school and do an extra half a year tagged on to high school. But I think that was probably like my waking moment. When I dropped out, I'm just like, what am I going to do? This is boring. Life's boring if you're not trying to do something. So I went back, went to night school, went to summer schools, and did a half a year extra past the year I was supposed to graduate. So that was my sophomore year. I totally screwed it all up. But that was my wake-up moment in my life. 15 years old, and I realized if I don't do something, I'm going to wind up like my parents and just not care and not try and just be. And just be with misery attached to it, right? So I'm like, thankfully, I guess now I'm looking back on it, I'm thankful I did stop and give up and realize giving up's not for me. So, yeah, if I listened to my parents or did the way of my parents, I would have wound up working where my dad worked and made barely any money and was just probably not happy my life. So half the sellers need to quit now so that the rest of us sellers can make a living. or just get better at what you're doing. I mean, that's what I try to do on this channel, is give you realistic information to not just say, you know, to be negative in any way, but if you're not aware, I said this yesterday, I think in the chat, said it somewhere. I think it was the chat. If you're not acknowledging problems, you're doing a disservice, because just ignoring problems don't make them go away. You've got to adapt or extinguish the fire, or, you know, whatever. You got to do something. You can't just ignore a problem. It's not going to go away. You've got to fix it or change things up. So I like to think that's what I do, and I'm trying to do it in a more positive feel than a more negative feel, you know, because before I was letting it emotionally drag me down, where now I'm trying to use it to motivate me to make sure I keep making changes and try different things and what have you. So I think that's I think that's the one thing that everybody kept getting on that person about, is they're trying to blame like the items I sell and things like that for the problems, when there are clearly other problems going on. And by ignoring those problems, like I said, you're doing a disservice to the people who's watching you and yourself. Jan is on fire. Yay, Jan. If you watched last night's video, I gave Jan her flowers, as the kids say these days. Does that sound like an old person? I gave her flowers, like the kids say these days. Another great video, James. Love your shirt. My Prince. My name is Prince. And I am funky. Seeing that shipping issue was deja vu from a week or so ago. Thankfully, it was just a glitch. Yes. eBay, the site of glitches. I've sold over 30,000 items and I never bought bubble wrap. But I use random junk for cushioning. And that's the eBay way. Recycle, reuse. Right? I think it was Josh who was coming down on people for using bags and stuff like that. I don't wrap my stuff in bags, but I will use bags for padding because I'm reusing the stuff. I mean, why just throw it in the waste, you know? But it kind of plays on the name of my store too, Redoption, you know? It plays on the whole recycle, reuse, re-this, re-that stuff. So, you want a hat for $5? I'll give you a hat for $5.99. So hopefully that 9-hour shutdown overnight was productive on the eBay side, and we will see it today with a nice little bounce back. Let's see. Did a nuclear reset on the store Saturday the 23rd. If you don't know what a nuclear reset is, I think Primo Kimo tagged it as such, where you end and sell similar on your entire store in one day. That was the nuclear reset. And rode a really nice wave of sales through today. It was about 12 days since the last reset. I'll probably do it again on the 30th of New Year's Eve weekend. I haven't ended and sold similar in probably about 30 days. Because I usually do it at the end of the month. So I haven't done it in December at all. And I'm still getting good sales. So that's a positive. Would I be getting more if I did start doing it? I do got a couple of days left, so maybe I'll knock out some today. Knock out a few thousand today. What do you do to a hard reset? That's it. Add and sell, end and sell similar on every listing. eBay is dying a slow death. I plan to be done by the end of the year. 14 years. they're killing themselves, yes. They are causing their own issues, yes. Is it by design? Yes. Are they getting more than they bargained for? Yes. Will it be fixed soon? Probably not as soon as they wanted it to. Probably not as soon, definitely not as soon as we wanted it to be. All right, now I'm caught up to yesterday's stuff. Let's do some shipping. I do got one posh here today. I got some foam posits that sold for $10. What that is for? What he did there. Oversized shirts are comfy. So I'm back in the salad world. I've been eating turkey a lot lately since we got some turkey. So I'll probably have a turkey sandwich today because I don't want the turkey to go to waste. And then I'll have a salad again for dinner. So I've had a salad yesterday. I had a salad the day before. So back in the salad mode. Cha-ching again. Keep it coming. That was the Marilyn Manson shirt. Yay! They paid. So was it what, $61 when we started. We'll see where I end. All right, a couple of these pulled last night that Adrian did not box up for me, so I will get that. I think that's everything. I think I pulled it all, but I need to rearrange so I can build my stack. All right. First up, one of Jan's items from last night that Adrian did not ship was a nutcracker. That sold for $20. $20. Oh, you're not going to go in that way, are you? A little too tall to go that way. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Got a little bit of a headache today, and I was questioning if it was sinus related because it didn't move when I moved in bed. And it's right here in front, but now that I feel a little bit of drainage, I think it was. It's just not moving. So that's good. Not just a normal headache suck. I haven't had a migraine. When I have bad headaches, like my dad used to pass out from them, and they always involve vomiting and not being able to move because every movement hurts. Major, like, normally after you vomit and get everything out, you really start feeling better, almost like a food poison feeling. But you still have to lay there for about an hour or hour and a half and not move. My migraines usually last probably about 4 to 6 hours. Like I said, a lot of vomiting and no lights, no TV, no movement, just veg. Like, and haven't had one since, I want to say, the beginning of 2022. So I used to get one about once a year. So haven't had one in a minute, which is good. I was hoping this one wasn't going to be a that situation, so I'm glad it's not. I can feel it. I can feel the sinuses. 111. $14 by $9 by $7. Alright. Lori. Next up, we got the other Jan item that Inner did not ship, and that's the little fluffy snowman. So cute and cuddly. He sold for $10, headed to Colorado. I had bought this drink thing called AirUp. Like the Diesel Brothers, on their channel, Heavy D, he promotes this thing. So I'm like, all right, I need a water bottle. I need to drink water. It's supposed to like entice your smell, and that's what makes the water change taste. It does not work. It was not only did it not work, with my sensitive smell, it just gave me like an instant headache. I put on I think it was the cherry one, and like, oh crap, just boom, instant headache. Tried drinking it. I'm like, this don't taste like cherry just because it smells like stink ass. It was bad. It was bad. Do not buy that item. Waste of money. That's the main reason I will be very selective on spam call, on any kind of sponsor for my channel. Like I said, the one criteria for my channel is it has to do you a favor also. Like the Giro Pack and the Vendu. They do you a favor also. Don't forget, Giro Pack link to save 10%. Vendu, save 25% on your first month. All affiliate links are below. Because now I look at that product and I'm like, all right, is he just faking it because they're paying him good money? Or does that really work for some people? Because it didn't even come close to working for me. And it just made my life hellish. All right, we got 13 by 9 by 7. I get emails almost every day about something. I just like, I usually don't even read them. Like, I haven't even responded back to Vendu. Vendu wanted me to do a sponsor video. And it's been Christmas. I've been too busy to really think about it. So I still got the email sitting there. I just haven't responded to them. Because you got to have faith, the faith, the faith. Faith, the faith, the faith, baby. Did you watch the Wham movie? That was a pretty interesting movie. I like watching documentary type movies on artists. So that sold for $7, headed to Massachusetts. I think it was on Netflix. I've canceled my Netflix since they raised the price even more. I don't watch it enough to pay that much for it. So I canceled mine, and since I got DirecTV, I get like Bally Sports app free. I get the Max free. So I'm like, Max is enough. I think I'm still paying for Peacock because my dad would watch wrestling WWE. So I think I'm still paying for Peacock. I don't think I ever turned that off, Martha. And I may still be paying for Discovery in the History Channel, Discovery Plus. There's just too many out there. I'm still waiting for like the DirecTV of apps. All right, we got a Jimmy Johnson NASCAR jacket. This sold for $32, headed to Mobile, Alabama. Let's go all the way over. And under. $32. Mobile, Alabama. Go sideways. All right. 1, 3. Whoops. 5. Quincy. Boink. Next up, we've got an NRA. Yeah. Sold for $6, headed to Massachusetts. Is that the second Mass? Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, when it comes to all the YouTube drama now, I'm just kind of staying out of it. I'm trying to be more loving. Like yesterday, I went and last couple of days, I just started going through and saying basically hello, and I like, at least when I see a video, like I don't scroll very much, but when I do, and it's somebody who I'm cool with, respect, whatever, I'll at least pop in, hit the like, and put hashtag do work, even if I don't watch the whole video. So at least gives them a little bump, Or I'll say something goofy or funny, or try to be funny, I should say. Or whatever. Or just say hello. So the last couple of days, I've been trying to do that to various people when I see their videos. So. I'm trying to spread a little positive instead of any kind of negative. I'm trying to spread the love. Ground advantage. Expected January 3rd. Oh, the buyer paid for priority. Okay. Good enough. Just wondering why I was popping up that, Jared. Priority it is. Trash Can Sinatra's Cake CD. Headed to Bloomington, Illinois. Because, I notice a lot of YouTubers will kind of use other YouTubers, in a sense. Like, I've learned that not everybody who says it's not about the views or whatever is telling the truth. I've learned that they will shout you out and talk about you just to try to get you to say something, and that the intentions behind it are not as favorable as some nice-hearted people you can tell are. Like, Like if like Primo or Jeff from Hay for Sales or Marcus from Dixon Pickens, or you know, those, you know where it's coming from. But I've learned when others speak it, they're just trying to grow their channel off of your back. And once they feel like they've exhausted everything they could from you, they move on to somebody else. So I try to still talk about all the people I've always talked about, unless I've noticed that trend. So if you've heard me talk about people before, but then I just don't really say anything anymore, and there's a reason for it. And then there's also a reason why I'll still try to bring up like the Hustle Couple or Marcus or Jeff or Primo, or I know there's more out there that I'm just forgetting. That's why I tried to go back yesterday and try to rekindle my mind on who the good ones still are, if you will. Because just like a product on my channel, I don't want to push anything that I don't feel is good intended. Scott, the bearded picker. And there are some out there I just don't know because I don't watch that much, you know. So don't take it. If I'm not talking about it, they're not good. It's not that. It's just maybe I've forgot, or I just haven't come across yet. I'm trying to expand my horizon a little bit. And normally the people that are way beyond me, I don't even bother with. You know, they got their own thing going. They look busy, you know. I don't want to look like I'm trying to ride their coattails, right? So, because that's not who I am. I'd rather help somebody build their channel who's got less than I do than to try to converse with somebody who's got more, if it's not wholeheartedly like a two-way thing, right? Dare keychain. Like that's Scott the bearded picker. Like I've seen some of his stuff, but I never really conversed with him or anything like that because I just pictured him as bigger than my channel. So I don't want to look like I'm trying to ride his coattails for anything, right? But then I'm guessing he commented on my videos first. I'm like, okay, well that's kind of cool. So then I started checking out his lives, and it just kind of, so it was organic, right? Like he reached down, I didn't reach up, you know, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Headed to California, sold for $6. I prefer to reach down, and by down, I don't mean looking down on somebody, I just mean lesser subscribers and, you know, lesser views type of thing to help bring somebody up, you know. Not that I'm better than they are, just that my audience may be bigger than theirs. So when somebody else seems to have a bigger audience than me, I'm not like, hey, look at me down here. Can you give me a hand? No, I'd rather get up there on my own. But while I'm trying to get there, I'm helping other people. I'm trying to bring other people with me. It's always about trying to help somebody else. I mean, if you're not helping nobody else out, what good are you, you know? I lived most of my life, younger life, being selfish, you know? There's more reward into trying to help others. Next up, we've got these Steph Carry Under Armours. Kids' shoes sold for $9, headed to Nevada. Like with the Primo Kimo channel, him and his wife, you know, they seem like very good people, good-hearted people. And they're trying to get to 1,000 subs. I think they're probably like 20 away. And then they'd be able to monetize, and that's a whole nother revenue stream for people selling on eBay. I mean, that's... Why would you not want to help that, you know? Because even if you don't want to rely on it like me, you still want to kind of grow it because it's fun and it's in your nature too, you know? Plus, extra money doesn't hurt. It helps you, at least for me, it allows me to help more. So... less stress is a positive thing. It helps me. It helps everybody around me. It will help my channel, or at least hopefully helps the information from my channel, I should say. But because, as I've said many times, money is power. Money is power in the society we live in. Next up, we've got, are you ready for a vinyl lot? Yeah. And a mofo. An aerobic dancing vinyl. $10 a piece. Headed to Brentwood, Tennessee. I try to do the things for the right reasons. And of course, like any human, I'm going to have a setback or emotions when we'll get involved somewhere at some time, at some point. I mean, we're human, you know. It's about who you try to be, your intent, who you want to be, you know. And actions over words. But like I said, everybody has a bump in the road or several bumps in the road and still are good people, you know. Could just be a bad time in their life, you know. I mean, look how many videos that I feel like I was more negative than anything in. I had situations in my life that you guys knew about, but that just affected me. And when you have those things, something like the eBay thing is just, other issues are multiplied, you know, when you have that problem, when you have sadness or things you're trying to get over or whatever. Not that it's an excuse to be one way, but we're human, you know. Emotions, without emotions, we're not human. We're robots. So I respect emotional videos. That one's going to Canada. Because that's what makes life interesting. If we were all robots, it'd be pretty damn boring. I think this is spelled Hind, Hind, baseball cap. So for $9.50, headed to Banks, Alabama. So if, you know, if I know somebody's a good person and they go off the rails one day, just like something emotionally charged them, I get a kick out of it. I'm like, yeah, you go. I got your back. Even if what they're saying is like totally out of left field, like something stupid silly, right? But you know they're a good person and it's just an emotional reaction. That's what I feel like is trying to be a race these days. Just everybody to be the same. That's no fun. It's no fun. Like, it's never going to happen because everybody walks a different line, you know? You're not going to know what I feel like if I walk through a dark alley at night. as opposed to somebody who's never walked down a dark alley at night. They're going to be scared out of their minds. I'm going to be like probably excited and enjoy it, right? So that's kind of an experience, a kind of a good analogy, I think. So you can't expect everybody who walks down a dark alley to be scared. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have people who enjoy it because they've lived in that world. Or they're comfortable there. Let's just say that. They're comfortable there. Maybe not enjoy it, but they're comfortable there. Next up, we've got Baby Einstein Traveling Melodies CD. This sold for $7, headed to Iron River, Michigan. I'm going to get some ibuprofen in me today. It's not draining very well. This has pressure. Alrighty. Okay. It's a Wonderful Life DVD. Sold for $9.95. Yay! Headed to Wisconsin. Get off my finger. My tummy's growling. Jason. Where was this hat at? Was this international too? I don't remember clicking off this hat. Unless I forgot to click it. I thought I only clicked one international. Maybe? I guess I'll find out in a minute. Oh, maybe I didn't refresh. I think that was the last thing that sold. Next up, we've got this Falcon Gold PC flying simulator game. Freaking a book the size of an encyclopedia. Headed to Las Vegas, sold for $25. And I did grab a box for this. And that can't go media mail either. Dag nabbit. Dag nabbit. 1084. $11. Ugh. I would have only charged the $5, probably $5.25. But it happens here and there. No big deal. Doesn't happen often, so won't hurt me. It won't hurt me. You can't hurt me with your little $6 over. Shoot. I don't know who you think you are. Shoot, you ain't gonna hurt me with no $6. Don't mind me. I'm trying to look past my headache and get into a happier mode with my comfy clothes today. All baggy like. If you're trying to figure that out, have you figured it out yet? I'm always saying that because I know I'm like that. If I see somebody's shirt, I'm trying to figure out what it says. What does it say? It says FUBU. FUBU. I've had this shirt for like ever. I've had this shirt. That's one of my older shirts. Print scan forms. Generate scan. Generation clash. Generation clash. Oh crap, I clicked the wrong thing. Huh. I'm trying to print the labels, dummy. Dummy? Hopefully these weren't yesterday's labels. Nope. Okay. Oh crap, I got 2 Jasons in a row. I didn't even recognize that. Make sure Jason Williams is the game. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm correct. Don't want to mess that up. Get over here. Jason, my cousin who passed away not too long ago, who was my age from cancer. Kaylin, I don't know no Kaylin. Amy. Worked with a girl named Amy. Who thought she was the bee's knees. We got Thomas. Thomas is a friend. He was my school best friend in school. I knew him since kindergarten all the way through high school. Friends with him on Facebook, but probably haven't seen him since high school. In person, anyway. So he was the high school friend. The high school best friend. Emily. Jan's got a friend named Emily who was a pharmacist also. Who, after we adopted our 2 greyhounds, she ended up adopting 2 greyhounds. She fell in love with them. And then she's also has, I think she's had a transplant, a kidney transplant, I believe it was. But she has to go like to dialysis, like, I think it's once a week. And that's gotta suck. Jan hasn't hung out with her in a long time. Anthony. Common name, but I don't think I know anybody named Anthony. If I do, I'm not thinking of it right quick. Stephanie. Got a Facebook friend, Stephanie, who grew up with one of my friends who, her house just burned down a couple of months ago and 2 of her dogs passed away. 2 of her dogs and 1 of her cats passed away in the fire. And I think she just got engaged yesterday. Jared. He's the bad Subway guy. Quincy. I knew somebody named Quincy once, but I can't remember who he was. Martha. Martha is a mother of a girl who grew up in our neighborhood, who was best friends with my sister, who was a little person, and her mom was a little person, Martha. Her dad was normal size, but I guess he was smart. I forget what, he was handicapped. So he was on crutches and his legs were all, I can't remember what he had, but he was handicapped his whole life, from what I remember anyway. But he worked at McDonnell Douglas, so I'm guessing he had a brain on him. As a kid, you don't really think, at least I didn't think too much like that. Now that I think back, I'm like, yeah, I mean, he wasn't physically able to do things at McDonnell Douglas, so he had to have a good brain on him to probably be working there. So I was like, that's pretty cool. But he was full size, and their son was full size. And then the mother and the daughter were little people. See, when I say I grew up around in a diverse neighborhood, and that's why I don't fall for the whole discrimination crap and all this and the hate that's pushed these days. I didn't grow up in a world like that. I grew up in a world where everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew every type of person. Let's just put it that way. And everybody got along and lived together. That's why I don't believe in and fall for all that separation bull crap institutions try to put out in the world today, because you know what, it doesn't exist in the world I grew up in and I've lived in my entire life. If I go out today, I'm not going to find nobody hating somebody because of the way they look or because of their religion or whatever. You're just not going to find it. If I went out looking for it, I'm sure I could find him. If I went out looking for a KKK member, I'm sure I could find one. But you know what? You're not going to find one just going out and interacting with people. It's just not going to happen, you know. If I go to some small town in Alabama or wherever, I'm sure I could probably find somebody if I really wanted to. But you can't take that one person and blow them up and make it look like the country has a problem. That person has a problem. All right, we got a Sinead O'Connor CD. Refresh that. I think it's going to Canada. See, I think what they prey on these days is the fact that people don't get out as much. You know, like the younger generation, like when we were young, we got out and played and we mingled with everybody. No matter who that body was or what that body looked like, we mingled with everybody. Where nowadays, everybody's more inward, video games, online, etc., etc. You don't interact as much as you used to. So they create these false narratives, and people are going to believe them because they're not out there living the life seeing that it doesn't exist. They're just believing that it does because somebody says it does. And you can't be mad at the game. You know, I mean, I can be mad at the player who's playing it, but that game is working. And it's like, okay, well, how can I use that game to my benefit? Right? Like not in a hateful way, but they're using the game to do that. How can I use the game to grow my YouTube channel? How can I use that game, that theory, that layout, that whatever you want to call it? How can I use it to benefit me in a positive way instead of the way they're using it to benefit themselves and society in a negative way, to turn society into a negative way? But and maybe that's what I'm kind of doing with some of my titles I put on. I think I'm giving up on thumbnails on YouTube. I really do. I've noticed that whether I do a thumbnail or not, the title is what gets the view. Like the two I did yesterday did not have thumbnails. So the first one of the day got 2,200 so far, and the second one got 1,000. Compared it to the other day when I used thumbnails, 2,200 and 1,200. And they still have 5 days on them. They were 5 days earlier than yesterday's. So technically, yesterday's without thumbnails performed better. But why is that? I think it's the title. So I think I'm done creating thumbnails, unless it's like something special that I'm like, or want to feel like playing or creating something. But I think for the most part, why spend my time messing with thumbnails anymore? That's 15, 20 minutes I could do something else, you know. So this sold for $7. Headed to Canada. If I do anything, because they give you 3 pictures to choose from for your thumbnail if you don't upload one. So if anything, if I see one that I'm like, I'm not happy with anyone, maybe I'll just take a picture. Like you saw that one day I took pictures just me standing here and I put power to the music above me. Maybe I'll do something like that. If there's 3 and I don't really like any of the 3, maybe I'll just do something simple like that. Instead of trying to create the perfect thumbnail. Yeah, I'm done with that. Done with it. At least for me and my time, come on. The time is not dictating into the worth. I can still get that value without doing a thumbnail, just with the right title. So, and maybe with the right picture I choose of the 3. Maybe that has something to do with it. But $6.97. So anytime I can eliminate something that's costing me time but not making me money, or I might as well do it. But like I said, if I feel like I'm in a creative mood or I got a creative spark or an idea, then I'll do it then. But that's more for self-pleasing myself than anything else. So only 2 internationals in the last 24 hours. Lame. 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 Oh, I want this headache to go away. All right. I do have a hat here, but it's not due till later, so I'll just do that when I get back. And that sold for $12. So we were at, what, $61? Yeah, we were at 61. So we are at $10.30 right now. And we're at $159 at 10:30. So not a bad bounce back for 9.5 hours of zero. Boo. Boo boo. All right. That is all. You ready to go, baby girl? You ready, baby girl? Courtney, are you there? Courtney, you ready? What's going on? Is she there? You ready to go? She's just laying there. There she is! Yay, Courtney! All right, thanks everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.